I'm sorry, but can somebody let me know, when has it become an issue to have a support system? I need to know, because, when women give birth, we need other women around to support us during our birth, before the birth, and after the birth. Okay? Celebrities, they have their fans that support them. If they didn't have their fans to support them, their music wouldn't get sold. We wouldn't be going to see their movies. We wouldn't be wearing their clothes. So, that's a support system. Donald Trump, he had his supporters that got him elected. Kamala, she had her supporters that got her on the ballot. So what's the issue with having a support system? Oh, I think I know what it is. Okay, so let's say you want to plant a garden. Okay, so you let your friends and family know, like, hey, I want to plant a garden, da 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 da, and you'll get majority of the people that are egging you on. If somebody knows a little bit of information about planting a garden, or if they know of like little hacks that you can like do to start your garden, or pages that you can go and look at, they can refer you to that. That is a support system, all right? So yeah, you put it out there that you want to plant a garden. You start planting your seeds. You're watering these plants, when it's necessary. I'm not going to say every day, because not all plants need to be watered every day. You water them when necessary. You're taking proper care of them. You're making sure they get adequate sunlight. And before you know it, you have a garden. You have a full blossoming garden. And, of course, like the people that, supported your friends and family, when you let them know, it's expected that they're like, oh, that's really cool. I want to come over and check your garden out, maybe pick some stuff from it, da 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 da. But when you have somebody that has infiltrated your circle, they'll say, oh, you wouldn't have been able to plant that garden if it wasn't for your support. You had people helping you plant that garden, so that's the only reason why you were able to plant that garden. They don't see, or they refuse to acknowledge the work that you put into it. But that's reflective of them, because that's letting me know right there, your work ethic is lacking, because it takes work and dedication to go into building a garden. So that's their first attack, because they see that you did work and they couldn't do the work. They don't want to do the work. They keep putting it off to do the work. But since you did it, since you had the audacity, the gall to actually do the work and put in the time and dedication and attention, you're in the wrong. You didn't do that on your own, because if you didn't have people supporting you, then you wouldn't have this garden. Be mindful of people like that. Be very mindful of it. And it'll start off as like little subtle things. But then it starts to get like, oh, this person is like really preying on my downfall. I remember now I grew up, the family dynamic I grew up, it was basically mainly women. Like my immediate family, it's my grandma, her 3 daughters, and then her 3 daughters and kids. That's a different situation. I've talked about it, and I'll go into more details on that whenever somebody wants to hear more about it. But there was no man around. So me growing up, I'm like, this is weird, because our other family members, my grandma's sisters and brothers, they have families. They have nice cars, they have nice houses, they have stout careers. They're raising their kids the proper way. And it's like, I looked at mine and I'm like, why are we nothing like that? Like, I knew something was off then. So, I programmed myself like, I don't like that. So I'm going to make sure that I'm changing that dynamic when I'm of age to have kids. So boom, fast forward, I get with my high school sweetheart. We have our first child. So being that I was so young, like I was looking around, like needing help. I was needing like my family to help me like figure this stuff out, because we're young, we're having our first kids, we have no clue what to expect. I got more help from his mom, and that says a lot. I got more help from his mom than I have gotten from, well, no, I can't say that. I think that would be kind of unfair to my mom too, because my mom, she did help out when she could, but my daughter at the time, she was spending more time with her dad's mom and his side of the family. But yeah, so we have her. I'm looking for help. And, people weren't giving me the help that I was looking for on my side. So I just started figuring things out on my own. I had no choice but to figure it out. We had to figure it out. As a couple, as parents, we had to figure out life on our own. Like, granted, we had his mom, telling us, hey, yeah, you can do this. There's some apartments right here that y'all can go and look at. That was support. That's considered support. But she put that bug in our ear, and then we took it and we did our own research to figure it out on our own. Learn how to pay bills and all of that on our own. So, I'm like, okay, I've always wanted to go to school for nursing. I'm thinking maybe I want to be a nurse. So I get into school for that. And then, I'm working, and, we have a full functioning household. But when arguments would come up, when there would be a difference of opinion, I would get it thrown in my face. Oh, you wouldn't have that if it wasn't for Chris. You wouldn't be where you at if it wasn't for Chris. And it got to the point where I started to feel guilty. I started to feel guilty because I have a man that is fulfilling his roles as a man. We're just operating as a family. We had to figure it out. It wasn't easy. It really wasn't easy for us. So that used to get thrown in my face a lot. And it used to just bring me down, because it's dang, am I leaning on him too much for help because these women are saying that? And then I had to look at it. Well, no, let me go further than that. I have friends. They would do the same thing. Oh, you wouldn't be where you at if it wasn't for Chris. Stay throwing that in my face. All the way up to yesterday, I had somebody else throw it in my face again that, I wouldn't be able to do what I do if it wasn't for Chris. But my thing is, I looked at my family's dynamics, and it's none of y'all have men that stuck around. None of y'all had men that made money. None of y'all had men that were supportive. Is that my fault? No. Because y'all had each other. You had your mom, first of all, to be a role model, and you decided to follow her instead of saying, I don't like this. I didn't like the way I grew up. Let me change this. Y'all followed her. So how am I at fault for seeing that doesn't look right? That's dysfunctional. I want my kids to look alike. So I'm going to do my life, role model my life the way that I want to. So it was that. So it was okay, I'm starting to see that, but that didn't take me until years. I didn't see that until years. Almost recently, I noticed, I peeped that. And I'm what the fuck? But my friends, I would see their situations with their men. We're not good situations. Y'all are struggling. One girl I used to be cool with, you're on Section 8 paying $11 in rent with a man living in your house, and you're still falling behind on your rent. I had those problems back in the day when we were younger. But once we got this figured out, hey, you need to be paying the rent on the 1st or the 5th. Well, between the 1st and the 5th, you cannot pay it a day later. Once we figured that out, boom, it was a learning experience, but we only had each other to really lean on. And people don't see that. They just see that, oh, Shemaine, she has a good job. Oh, Shemaine, she's saving money. Oh, Shemaine, she's know how to invest her money. Oh, Shemaine, she was able to move to another state. They didn't see it was a whole lot of beating and failing that I had to endure to even get to this point. And I don't even think I leveled up as far as where I used to be at, but I'm not rich. I'm nowhere near rich. I would love to be one day. I'm claiming it. I am going to be rich one day, but I am working myself up to that. I'm no slouch. Even with my YouTube channel, I watch my videos before I post it, and I watch informational things about YouTube so I can better my channel because I want to improve myself. So take somebody that's similar to me. Let's say they have a YouTube channel, and I'm growing in mine. They're not growing in theirs, but they're also only they're not really taking it serious. They're not really putting in the work. They're not studying. They're not going on Google and seeing what is the best apps to use. They're not doing these things. They only see, oh, she got ahead and I didn't get ahead. So what is going on? It must be her support. It must be the support that she got to where she is at. And that's not fair. we see it a lot. I see it a lot in the Black community. But I've been in the Black community for a long time, and that it has been my experience with Black people. It can never be me just doing it on my own and figuring it out. It always has to be Chris, my kid's father. And my kid, like, me and him, and that is just so unfair because we needed each other. Chris and I, we leaned on each other when we had to figure these things out on our own. And if it wasn't for each other, like, we really would have been lost. Really would have been lost. I could not imagine being 19 years old and a single mom figuring this shit out. And it comes a point where it's like people are comfortable or used to being in survival mode, or maybe they haven't had, or maybe they have people throw things in their face. I don't know what it is, but I am appreciative of any support that I get. I am very appreciative of the support that I get because we need each other. We need each other. We need to get back to being a village. We need to get back to being a community. We need to get back to being a safe, strong, functioning society instead of worrying about what you see people accomplish or what you see people, what they've overcome. The way that I think now, I did not think the same way in my 20s. And I had people that were still around me that still think the same way that they thought in their 20s. So they're trying to figure out, why are you not still thinking like how we think? Why are you still not moving how we used to move? Because I elevated. I didn't want to do that anymore. You still want to do that. And that means you're not growing. I don't know, man. You guys let me know what you think about this. And have any of you ever had encounters like this? Where somebody is just taking away from your work. And that's just super insulting. It like, this person is not only a hater, this person has to be something not godly. Maybe I shouldn't say not godly. I don't know. I don't know what to describe those people as, but you know, hating doesn't get you anywhere. And more than likely, you'll still see that person in the same mental state, the same financial state, the same emotional state, the same physical, whatever it is, you'll see them still there. Little things may have like progressed in their life, but they're not going to acknowledge those progressions in their life. They're going to focus on where you're at opposed to where they're at. Instead of focusing on like, oh yeah, look how I'm moving up my ladder. It may not be as fast as this person is moving, but I'm still moving. They don't look at it like that. Look at it like that. I don't know. Yeah, you guys let me know what you think about this. And if you want to add anything, please let me know. I love hearing people's stories. Crazy stories about just crazy people that, you know, we not have to deal with, but that we encounter or that are a part of our lives. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. And please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.